All right, everyone. I'm sure that all of you saw the other day when the censure vote was held by Congress over Al Green, losing his composure and pointing his pimp cane at everyone and stuff like that, and yelling at Trump and heckling him, and then getting dragged out of, by the sergeant at arms. Um, the Democrats' reaction was not entirely wise. This has been pointed out by several Democrats, 10 of which actually voted with the Republicans, who were unanimous in doing the censoring thing. They broke rank. That shows how fractured the Democratic Party really is. And it is. Here's basically the sum and substance of what happened. Because Al Green broke decorum, he got censored. And the Democrats, by and large, responded by breaking decorum. And Speaker Johnson is like rolling his eyes. There's like, order in the House and stuff. They're gathered around, Al Green singing "We Shall Overcome" as though he was making some heroic gesture and was being mistreated for it, when really it's like you're a member of Congress, taxpayer funded. That's the people's house. It's not your house. So follow the House rules. It's not asking for very much. Sit down and listen to Trump speak. If you want to protest, you can wear a pink pussy hat. You can wave one of those retarded signs that say Elon Musk evil, Orange Man bad, we shall overcome, or something like that, without disrupting Trump's ability to actually address you. He's there to address Congress. Instead, he was repeatedly heckled by people who are absolute morons. Uh, and strategically speaking, they're moronic too. Think about it this way. Trump's speech, according to every poll that was released thereafter, including by left-wing legacy media, was rather popular. I wouldn't be surprised if it affects his approval ratings in a positive manner, by the way. It was approved of wildly by the public. We're talking 65 to 70% of the public approving of the speech. What they saw were a bunch of petulant babies whining about it repeatedly. And Slotkin's speech, I know, doesn't get such high marks. There's a reason for that. She really jumped it on that one. And so the Democrats should do some soul searching, say, okay, how can we look at the policies he's proposing? What made it particularly approved of? How can we adapt our own political strategy to try to counter this? Maybe be like with Kamala. She failed at this attempt, but it was good on paper. Several times she borrowed Trump's homework. Um, and that was because her focus group told her, hey, this particular Trumpian policy is really popular. You should probably endorse it. Now, don't say you got the idea from Trump, and you don't have to do it after you're elected, but you should talk a big game about it. It's a typical politician thing. You promise the moon on a stick, and then you hand the person the stick. There's no moon on it. That's basically what politicians tend to do. You do the political big talk thing, big talk, little action, basically. The Democrats should be trying to do that in typical politician used car salesman mode. But they don't even have the capability of doing that right now. They're so badly disorganized as a party. They are incapable, under the relentless barrage of Trump's executive orders and all of the other things going on with Doge and with the Republican-led Congress. They are incapable of fomenting a response. It's Operation Chaos, basically, more than anything else. They're getting pummeled on all sides. And so it's impossible for them to single out any specific thing that they can attack Trump or those associated with him on. They try, but it gets drowned out. And they can't respond to everything at once. So inevitably, again, let's say that you fire one arrow. There's no guarantee you hit the target. Now let's say that a group of 100 archers are firing at the same target. Some of those arrows are going to hit. Many will miss, but some of them will be solid hits. Sometimes an arrow hits another arrow and sticks in the back of it. It's rather impressive. It only happens very rarely. Saw one picture once. It was from I can't remember which battle it was, but two bullets had collided in midair, and one of them had actually deflected the other bullet. I bet someone's life was saved as a result of that direct hit. It's again, It's like a 1 in a billion chance unless you calibrate it really, really properly. But whatever, that has nothing to do with the news topic. So the Democrats' response couldn't be worse. The initial response to the address when the address was going on was bad enough. You see a bunch of petulant babies whining and Al Green going off and people booing at inopportune moments and Hakeem Jeffries probably snuck in a hip flask, by the way, with just in case this sort of thing happened. He's probably like, Jesus H. Christ. These people just can't get it together. And then they censure him. And it's technically bipartisan because 10 Democrats voted along with the GOP majority. And what do? The leftoids gather around Al Green to sing Kumbaya as though he's some sort of folk hero for simply heckling and getting removed from the House chamber for breach of decorum. Now, I guarantee they wouldn't have had a problem with it if a Republican member of Congress having heckled Biden in a similar manner had been escorted out. And there was heckling, by the way. You remember Biden's last State of the Union, there was heckling, but nobody was removed because when order was called for, they stopped. It's not exactly the same. You remember the big you lie moment and stuff like that. This has happened before. There was a time when members of the House were beating each other with fireplace tongs and stuff like that, but that was 200 years ago. We live in a slightly different time when different protocol is generally expected of people that are representing a tax-paying body that is paying them to be there. When your representative, therefore, is censured, it's not necessarily politically helpful to the people that are represented in that district. Al Green just wanted attention. And he got it, and he was very happy about it. And the leftoids rallied around him to again breach decorum over a breach of decorum. It's decorum inception. It's just weird that the Democrats think that this particular kind of political strategy is going to work. You've been trying this for years. Hashtag resist. We shall overcome. Orange man. It doesn't work. Quite clearly, if you look at the election results, what the hell are you people thinking? And the handful of Democrats in the party that are actually reasonably sane are rolling their eyes at you, knuckling their foreheads, and they're on their fourth gin and tonic of the night, trying to deal with you stupids. They can't even believe it. I can't believe it. I'm like, okay, I know that the Democrats have severe TDS, and so they don't want Al Green censored or anything like that. I understand that. But to repeatedly make the same mistake over and over again, as you have been now for several years, is so nonsensical. It's like, why do people vote these morons back in? I understand, okay, Orange Man bad, and you're a hardcore Antifa-loving leftist. Don't you want to have people in Congress that are actually capable of doing your will? Because if they get kicked out of the House chamber, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to do that. And most of the public looks at this with shame. They've humiliated the Democrats. I mean, they're getting raked over the coals right now over this. That's about all. Peace out.